pretty much all stocks, again, with this gap up, we're going to be watching the 20 period moving average support, and if that fails, we will be watching the 100 period, which is significantly below the 20 period moving average. So let's look at some of our stocks here. We've got the SUNY is looking great above $13 here. Looking like $14 resistance could be tested. Again, I'm always cautious on SUNY. I don't want to recommend it as a swing play anymore. If you want to day trade it, that's absolutely fine. There's plenty of liquidity and opportunity there for SUNY, but it has had 9 green days in a row. Today is going to be the 10th green day if it can hold up, and a bounce from $8.10 to now $13.10, let's call it. That's a very significant bounce, obviously. So I know it was very oversold, but there is going to need to be some consolidation at some point, and every day we have that is green without consolidation is increasing the likelihood for the eventual and inevitable consolidation. So watching the 20 period moving average here, 1331, that is resistance. We had a low back here of 1325, and then a low here of 1325 again. So 1325 is key support this pre-market. We'll see if it can hold that level into the open. So that is for SUNY. GoPro looking great yesterday, forming the bearish or bullish reversal candlestick of the hammer on the daily chart. Looking for some follow through today. We had the high of the day yesterday at 38.09. Want to see a break above that level again. Set a higher high. That would be a great sign. A green candlestick today will confirm the bullish reversal. So GoPro here, we have the 20 period moving average resistance of 38.02. We set a low pre-market of 37.85, and that is currently the bid right now. We have the 100 and 200 period moving average support all the way down at 37.47 and 37.43. So those are key levels to watch if we see a break of 37.85. Let's look at Netflix here. So Netflix is going to be fighting this 200 period moving average resistance. You can see we are setting lower lows and lower highs, so not a good trend here. The low here was $96. The low down here was, well, we got $95.89, so fairly close to a double bottom. Watch $95.89 on any pullback. We've got $95.60, 100 period moving average support. Resistance is $96.29, the 20 period moving average, and the 200 period moving average of $96.56. So those are very key levels, and Netflix is going to need a lot of help from the bulls today to break this 200 period moving average and get a nice bullish uptrend going. Let's look at Amazon here. Nice uptrend, found a low of 521.50 this morning and continued up, set a new high of a high pre-market of 524.60, 20 period moving average support of 523.02. So on any kind of pullback, you want to see 521.50 hold, and ideally you want to see the high of 524.60 break. On all of these stocks that you are watching today, make sure you're watching the daily chart, as moving average resistance and support is now going to come into play significantly with these individual stocks. As SPY is breaking out of the consolidation pattern, I expect many stocks to start straying from the close hand-in-hand trading we've been seeing with SPY, and they're going to react to their own moving averages, support and resistances without regard for what SPY is doing. REGN. We got 9 minutes to go here to the open. Not much pre-market volume for REGN. Pulling up the daily chart to see what we're looking at here. So REGN had a very bullish day yesterday, closing above the 50-day moving average resistance, the 100-day moving average resistance, and the middle Bollinger Band. Turned those all into support. Had a higher high compared to the initial bounce off the market crash. We've got a MACD coming up on a bullish cross. We got the RSI crossing 50 bullish. So currently trading at 548, and it's looking like the next resistance on the daily chart that I see is 555, and that is from the low on August 12th. So let's check into some other tickets here. Price target to short SUNY for today. We will have to see how much strength and volume shows up. I would say if it got to $14 within the first 20 minutes, that would be a great area. But I will stay on top of SUNY coverage this morning, and we will see just how much strength there is for the bulls. There's no resistance on the daily chart until $14, so we'll have to see if we have enough strength to get to that level. So let's look at CYBR. 8 minutes here. I'm going to try and get everybody's tickers in. CYBR, not much volume pre-market. We've got the low of 48.75 and a high of 49.30. So those are two levels to watch. Pulling up the daily chart here for CYBR. We have 46 support, which has been bounced off of 3 times now, including yesterday. 10-day moving average resistance is 49.56. So watch 49.56, and after that we got $50 psychological resistance and then 52 resistance. AMBA 73.75. Let's see what the high of the day yesterday was. I know he's not watching the webcam, but I'll share with you guys and then relay that information. So we had a high yesterday of 75.47. That is going to be resistance, and then the target of 78.21, the 200-day moving average. So 75.47 resistance. If someone could relay this in the chat for deep, I would appreciate it. 75 high of day resistance from yesterday. 75.47 is resistance, and we also have the high of the day pre-market, which is right under $74. So 74 and then 75.47. All right, let's moving along here. Looking now at PCLN, looking great. Target of 1300 is going to be hit today, and we could keep going from there. If we bust through 1300, 1320 is on deck for PCLN, looking great after the break of 1260. Been nice coverage by our watch list, and I'm loving the bullish nature of the weekly and daily chart for PCLN. Baba here. We've got 62, set a support off of the 100 period moving average support, and we are now setting a higher high pre-market. We've got 62 is going to be resistance. We also have the 200 period moving average to watch, 63.25. So 61.72 is support and 63.25 is resistance. 5 minutes left to go here before the bell. Eyes has no pre-market volume and looking good from yesterday. I would expect a test potentially of $10 today. We're going to be watching volume and going to be watching the trading action there, but nothing to report pre-market here as we have no volume. Apple, if anybody, no one entered my targets for poor deep there. Apple, we have a lot of pre-market activity. Set a low down here at 113.35, setting higher lows and higher highs. The high was up here at 113.90 from the original pullback, although pre-market we were up at $14, but let's call it 113.90. And now setting two lower highs. So a consolidating range. We've got the support of 113.17, the 100 period moving average support, and a break of 113.35 would be bearish. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so now we've got Tesla here. Tesla set a high this morning of 254.50, and the low support that was found was 251.26, so a break of 251.26 will mean the 100 period moving average of 250.17 will be tested. Watching the 20 period moving average resistance of 253.03, that is resistance. We've got the high up here, as I said, of 254.50, so that would be a bullish break if we see that level break. Let's see, Apple, I assume you're talking about the daily chart of 100-day moving average resistance. No, that's all the way up at 123. Are you what time frame are you referring to for Apple? We got 3 minutes to go here into the bell. GoPro is going to be flirting around the 38 level, and 38.09 is going to be resistance we are watching. All right, let's check in with SPY here before the bell. 3 minutes to go. Still holding up, holding above the 20 period moving average support of 199.28, right at that level. If we see a break there, we've got support down here at 199.06. After that, 198.96, and then 198.60. So these are our targets. So we will be watching on any kind of pullbacks. Make sure we're watching all the time frames here for the charts, because now we have a bunch of support on the 60-minute charts, the 30-minute charts. After having two gap ups in a row the past 2 days, we now have lots of moving average support to keep our eye on, and daily moving average resistance. So that's a change from the norm. Recently we've been having the moving average on shorter time frames as resistance, but that is no longer the case. So it's all about resistances on the daily charts and weekly charts. 2 minutes left to go here. Netflix checking back in again in a downtrend, certainly seeing some bullish moves right here in the past 5 minutes, but the downtrend is lower highs and lower lows. We had a break here of the pre-market low 96.01, came down to 95.75, so 95.75 is key support. Currently seeing a nice move above the 200 period moving average. That would be great to hold at 96.50. And if it can break, we see the resistance up here at 96.75. Look at how many candlesticks it couldn't get above that level. So 96.75 break will be bullish for Netflix this morning. I've got the RSI for GoPro at 54.68, so not sure what level you're looking at, Ike, or what time frame, but plenty of room to run up for GoPro on my chart. 1 minute left to go here into the bell. I like to watch the first 15 minutes of trading. As you can see, yesterday we had the gap in, or the trap by some stocks. The bears came in and attacked Netflix and some others. So I always sit back and watch the first 15 minutes unfold before a direction is determined. And so there's less trickery if you wait the first 15 minutes. So here is the bell. Netflix watching for a 96.75 break. And there it is. So that's a bullish break over the morning resistance. Eyes is up to 972. A nice start there. Loco seeing a little bit of green. Sunni watching for a $13 support test. Seeing a little bit of resistance here after the gap up. So we have SPY trading below the 20 period moving average support of 199.28. We'll see if it can gain that level back, or if we're going to try and find support on other time frames here. You guys is back down in the 160s, needs to hold 162. It's been bouncing around from 162 to 175 for many days in a row now. So $7 spread on PCLN, that's a little wide, even though it is a $1,200 stock, but looking to get to $1,300 today. Eyes has a very wide spread as well. That's very interesting. Keep your eye on that. Sunni was able to hold 13 to start the day. We will see if that remains the case. GoPro struggling at 38 again. We had a high yesterday of 38.09, a high today of 38.10. So going to need to see some bullish volume to break through that level. So Netflix looking very bullish here in terms of comparing to its pre-market trading. Got all the way up to 97.38, seeing some pullback now, but you can see it broke above all the highs seen pre-market and has turned the 200 period into support for the time being. So that is a good sign here. And just like that, so another quick mover. You got to be careful with Netflix. That's why I like to wait the 15 minutes. We just saw a drop of $1, 1% within a couple minutes. Eyes with a high of day of 985, looking good for the target of $10. Sunni is now testing $13 again. Nice fat bid, but we will see if that's able to hold. And it just broke, so we are seeing some downside now for Sunni. Looking at where we have support, 200 period moving average support of 1286. RSI is down at 27 and already oversold. So if we came down to 1286 very shortly here, we might see a nice little bounce opportunity on SUNY. And again, make sure you're scanning all your time frames for support here. 1265 is support on the 15 minute, 1224 on the 30 minute, and even lower on the hourly chart. So we got support here on the hourly chart actually of 1296, which is the level it just bounced off of the 20 period moving average support. So again, make sure you're watching all time frame moving average support. Let's check back in with SPY here, looking like it's close to its high of day, able to recover. We got 2 minutes left in this candlestick. We'll see if it can hold the 20 period moving average support. It's currently fighting around that level. So yep, there's Apple breaking through the 100 period moving average support. We got the 200 period down at 112.38. It too is approaching oversold. So a quick sell off here to start the day. SPY is looking like it's not going to be able to close above this 20 period moving average support on the 5-minute chart. That level is 199.28, so flirting right around it. Netflix is dropping here. You want to be careful, as we saw the bearish attack on Netflix, and they might swoop back in. SUNY back above $13 support. Watching GoPro 38.15, so it did set a higher high here, but it keeps getting knocked back down below 38. Once we see it able to maintain 38 support, it will be a very bullish sign. So next support we've got on SPY here, we've got a low set back here of 199.06, and then another low of 198.96. So first target of support is 199.06. And again, just sit back and watch the first 15 minutes unless you're a gambling man or woman, and wait for the day's range to set itself. So ICE has a 21-cent spread, which on a $9 stock is very significant. Not a whole lot of volume coming in this morning, so definitely want to be cautious with that one. Lack of volume and a lack of liquidity is what translates to large spreads. So here is SPY setting a new high of day. So that just like that, the first 5 minutes it loses support, looks bearish, and then the bulls come roaring back and set a new high. So that's some of the volatility I'm talking about in the first 15 minutes of trading. I know some people that sit even longer than 15 minutes and allow the morning chaos to settle. Looking at Tesla, it is still holding the 100 period moving average support, a nice bounce off that level of 250.21. So it did set all the lows as seen pre-market, but is finding some support here. So watch this level of support. And if it falls beneath that, we got the 200 period of 247.76 below it. Keeping my eye on SPY, as I'm curious if it's going to be able to maintain this 20 period moving average or not. SUNY is back down testing $13 support. And that just broke. So low is 12.95. Watch that level. PCLN 129945 is the ask. Target of 1300 from 1260 looks to be within reach, and there it is. Now we're coming up to 1320 resistance is the next target. PCLN is looking and performing beautifully. SPY, another high here. Sunni back over 13, so we're going to have some battle around $13 here for Sunni. Support is 1287, the 200 period moving average on Sunni. Netflix pushing towards the high of the day. That's going to be a nice bounce here. Let's see what will the day look at this candlestick. The volatility in Netflix these days is absolutely insane. So obviously looking bullish right now. The RSI just went from like 41 to 65 in 5 minutes. Still not overbought, but definitely watching Netflix here as this 200 period moving average support looks to be good to go, to hold here. Watching Sunni as it's flirting around its low of day. GoPro back up to the $38 range. Want to see 38 as support to continue the bullish reversal. Eyes is dropping a bit, only 10,000 shares traded, very insignificant compared to yesterday volume. So I'm going to pull up the daily chart and look at Netflix resistance. Any stock you're looking at, look at all time frames, daily, weekly, and if you have a pen and paper in front of you, which I highly recommend, write down levels that are key here. So looking at the daily chart on Netflix, I see the 100-day moving average resistance at 98.41. That is where I would expect this bullish move to slow a little bit. 98.41, key level to watch. There's Netflix trucking along, breaking right through 98.41. So Netflix might be a potential short opportunity. This is definitely, we're seeing some short covering from yesterday. And we are watching the RSI, which is currently at 72. Seeing a little bit of pullback. If we were to continue to run, then it might be a short opportunity, but not overbought enough for me to call that yet. So Sunni here, break in 12.95. Seeing red for the first time in a long time, but its RSI is down at 22, so it doesn't have a whole lot longer to drop before it bounces as well. Trying to maintain this 200 period moving average support of 1287. Looking at other time frames for support on Sunni, we've got the 15-minute support down at 1264. That's the next target we are watching. RSI on the 5-minute is now under 20. And this is why I was cautious on Sunni as a swing play up here at this level, because we know a consolidating red day is coming. SPY looks like it just significantly pulled back very quickly. We've got support here on the 100 period moving average of 198.66. Watching that level closely. Low of 1270 for Sunni here. Seeing a little bit of a bounce. Eyes is now red as well, but again, very insignificant volume. GoPro unable to get above 38. Nice 15-cent bounce for Sunni there as it was oversold on the 5-minute chart. That's why using RSI on the 5-minute chart. Look at the bulls holding or attempting to hold this 200 period. Still 4 minutes left to go here, but a nice 22-cent bounce so far. RSI becoming that oversold at under 20 was the signal that we were going to see a bounce on Sunni. So watching SPY here, we're going to have an increase in volume on the 5-minute chart with 3 minutes left to go. I can't look at every ticker. I can only watch so many. That's why I'm not watching REGN. REGN is bearish. 100 period moving average support is 529.50. The high of the day is resistance at 549.93. You can call that 550 resistance. And we have the 20 period moving average resistance now of 542.70. And again, make sure you're looking at all kinds of time frames. We got support down here on the 15-minute chart at 536.57. And on the 1 hourly chart, we have the 200 period moving average, which is strong at 537.72. So 537.72 is a key support. NUGT is hitting the 20 period moving average resistance of 285, found a bottom this morning at 275, and a break above this 20 period moving average resistance of 285, like I said, and some big resistance up here at 291 and 291. Both the 100 and 200 period moving average resistance are lining up at that level. So SPY continuing to look bearish here with the start. Trying to maintain, note the RSI is at 33. So we'll see if it can hold this 100 period moving average support. Netflix is maintaining above 98. That's a good sign for Netflix. Up 3.5%, significantly more than any other stock we're looking at. PCLN is back under 1300, so that is still resistance at this point. Need to see a close above 1300 to set our sights on 1320 as a target. But our target of 1300 was acquired from 1260 2 days ago. SUNY looks like it's coming down to potentially test the low of the day again, currently 10 cents above that level. And 198.67 is key support for SPY. Netflix, very bullish. Now a break of 99, new high of day. $100 is going to be psychological resistance, and if it were to hit that level in the very near term future, it would be a potential short opportunity as the RSI is at 76, and that would be exhausted bullish movement. We'll see how quickly it gets to $100 if it does set a new high of day here. SPY is now 10 cents above its low of day. Here's a new high of day for Netflix. Gonna watch Netflix closely here. 99.50. Definitely a strong, steady downtrend for REGN. Let's look where the support is on the daily chart. Watching Netflix here, 99.60 is the high of the day. 99.70, 80. So let's watch this $100 level on Netflix. We got middle Bollinger Band support for REGN at 537.54. Must close above this level. And the bulls would ideally like to see it close above the 50-day moving average as well. That is 542.63. So here's Netflix, 99.99 with the high of day. The RSI is up at 79 here. If you are looking to go short on Netflix, you are setting up your trades and getting ready for signs of the bearish reversal. Currently keeps trucking along here. RSI is now over 80. Let's look on the daily chart where we can find some resistance potentially for Netflix. After 100, I'm not seeing anything until 102.50, but it's not going to go there without consolidating first. Looking at different time frames for different resistances, above the 15-minute resistance, 30-minute resistance is all the way up at 103, and 60-minute resistance is also all the way up at 103. So Netflix is trucking along, and we are going to be waiting for the bearish reversal signals. RSI is now at 82, and we are getting overextended to the bullish side here. 6% up, waiting for signs of the bearish reversal candlestick. Volume is very high, going to increase this candlestick for Netflix. 189 is the high of the day. Sunni is breaking down here. We'll see if it sets a new low of day as well. Netflix now has $100 psychological support. We'll see if it's able to maintain that level. Apple is now red, and SPY set a new low of day. So I'll check back in on SPY in a second here. So there's a break of 100 psychological support for Netflix. Seeing a bit of a long upper wick here on the 5-minute chart, but we still have 2 minutes left to go. And you don't want to hop in against the trend too early here without seeing some confirmation of the bearish reversal. Lots of volume pouring into Netflix, obviously. Here we got Sunni coming down to test the low of the day there as well. Definitely seeing the consolidation day expected so far. Didn't expect that it would be today, as I've been calling for it for a couple days now, but there's a new low of day. Netflix, that upper wick is not attractive to the bulls, but the bulls are still fighting to maintain that $100 level. Let's check back in on SPY and see what kind of support we got. Still the 100 period of 198.67 is support. And watching that level closely. Fighting with $100 support and resistance is Netflix. Watching very closely. That candlestick has been set with a long upper wick. We will see now. We're seeing some continued pullback. Looks like $99 is going to be tested as support. So now we see the RSI cooling off and Netflix coming back down to earth after that very bullish 15 minutes to start the day. GoPro has support, some pretty strong support at 37.55 and 37.46. We will watch these levels to maintain. You can see the 20 period moving average has knocked the price down at 37.96. So we could see consolidating range as we have the 20 period moving average resistance dropping down and the 100 period climbing up, wedging the stock together there. So Netflix just went back up to $100. Still trying to maintain that level. Bulls still have a little bit of fight in them here. The low of this candlestick is 99.58. A break of that level would signal some more consolidation, perhaps to $99. We have the 20 period moving average support is all the way down at 96.79. So Netflix is going to have to maintain up in this $99 range for a while for these moving average supports to catch up to it. I do think Netflix is a potential short opportunity. It's getting less and less attractive the longer it stays up here and consolidates. So there's a break of the low of the current candlestick and expecting it to go to $99, and we'll take it from there. Watching volume down to 99.30. So that's $1.50 pullback from the high of the day. Lots of volatility here in Netflix. We will see if it makes its way down to $99. So it's appearing that 99.50 is now the level that is flipping back and forth between the bulls and the bears here. This upper wick is still, or this lower wick on this candlestick with 2 minutes left to form. The bigger the lower wick, the more bullish the 5-minute chart will be. But definitely flirting back and forth here with the 99.50 level. SPY is still maintaining its 100 period moving average support on the 5-minute chart. So a break of 99.30 for Netflix here will lead to more downside. And there it is, coming up on 99 flat now. I agree, Mason, definitely short covering. Look at that drop right there, boom. Big drop instantly here. Now down 20 cents below 99. And it's looking like a short off of $100 was the play of Netflix, even though it went all the way up to 189. So we'll see just how much more consolidation has to happen here. I want to check back in with SPY and see how it's holding up on that 100 period moving average support. Still maintaining it, a nice bounce off that level. Key support of SPY is 198.68. Good play, Zach. Glad someone got a piece of it. So Sunni, let's see if it was able to maintain that 200 period. It was not. That's resistance. So this is now a back test of that resistance. The resistance is 1288. If we see weakness here, it might be a nice short opportunity. Even though the RSI is still oversold, we will see how the price reacts to this major resistance here at 1288. Hit a high of 1286 on the previous candlestick and pulled back. And there's some more continued drop. We'll see if this, we have 3 candlesticks now of higher lows. We'll see if that gets broken, that trend. If this RSI were a little bit higher and not already oversold, this would be a great short play for Netflix, or for, Sunni. But because the RSI is already close to oversold, it warrants more caution here. Bidu, nice steady uptrend. The RSI is sitting around 70 here. Let me look at the daily chart to see what kind of resistances we have. Bidu, we have the middle Bollinger Band resistance of 152.63, so currently just above that level. It closed over that level, and Bidu is actually going to be looking pretty bullish on the daily chart. So Netflix coming back up to $100. Definitely strength here if the bulls are coming back to test $100 that quickly. We'll see if it gets rejected from there again. SPY consolidating a bit. Look like it's going to come back and test that 100 period moving average support of 199.68, and it's at that level right now. Netflix, third lower high in a row for the candlesticks here. If you guys could say time frames with stuff, just because there's clearly no double bottom on the 5-minute chart. I assume you're talking about the daily chart. It was a nice double bottom off 16. Needs to get over the 200-day moving average resistance of 1706. So here's Sunni again testing that 200 period moving average resistance on the 5-minute chart. Bumping its head on that level. SPY is higher. It is not higher than the original first bounce, but it is higher than the second bounce. So We had a high, the highest high SPY hit on the bounce from the market crash was 199.84. Today's high is 199.56. But now as Sunni is trying to turn this 1288 level back into support. Eyes is looking like it might be ready to return to some bullish momentum, finding support on the 20 period moving average. Currently at even on the day, there's Sunni not able to turn the 200 period moving average into support. Again, 3 higher lows on these 5-minute candlesticks. When we see that pattern break, it will be bearish for Sunni. Netflix is still hanging out in the mid 99 range, so pretty impressive that the bulls are able to hold it up there. Watching Sunni here. Here's the eyes bullish movement up. We now have a nice bid at 960, high of day of 985. After such a wide bid and ask this morning, it's looking like it consolidated a bit and is now working on climbing back up. Still have a $10 target on eyes. Ask for PCLN is back at 1300. SPY is going to come down and test the 100 period moving average support again of 198.68. You can see 3 candlesticks now. It has tested this level. So let's see if Sunni has a hard time on the third attempt now to get back over that 200 period. Looking at Netflix, cooling off a little bit. Consolidating range in the past 4 candlesticks. Decreasing volume. It's all about either 100 or 99 at this point. $100 resistance, 99 support. So Sunni is not seeing hand-in-hand trading with SPY here. SPY is having a nice, another bullish candlestick, the 4th in a row, maintaining this support, and looks like we set a higher high here than the previous candlestick. So looking nice off of the support level for SPY, whereas Sunni cannot break this level. Still 4th candlestick in a row of higher lows, so not convinced of the bearish downtrend yet. Would wish the RSI was higher. As I said, I would be more confident in a short here. Here's Netflix coming down to test the 99 support level. I'm not going to answer that question for you, G. You got to place your own trades. I'm not going to say trade now, sell now, buy now. I'm going to point out key support and resistance levels and allow traders to make their own informed decisions on how they want to play certain stocks. As you saw me pointing out, Netflix was overbought and Zach placed a trade on his own and profited on the pullback by shorting Netflix. So Tesla is doing a nice job turning the 20 period moving average resistance back into support. That level is 252.65. Very nice bounce off the 100 period moving average support and looking to break the high of pre-market of 254.50. If you guys, I really would encourage every single member to have a pen and paper and write down these numbers that I say out, just because going back is a waste of time for everybody. So just a pen and paper with tickers next to them, and every time I say a key level, just write that number down and you'll have it right in front of you. The confirmation for Netflix, it was definitely a fast trade. It did find support down at just below 99 at 98.52. The confirmation would have been, I would have used the break of $100 multiple times, being unable to hold that level. Definitely now bullish that it's back above it. But in terms of playing a longer term swing trade and waiting for the 5 minute candles to develop for confirmation, the trade would have been missed doing that. That's why Zach took the initiative and made a risky jump in and a quick flip. He must have held it for less than 2 minutes, I would assume. So still watching Sunni, but as I said, the RSI is oversold. Definitely bearish though on Sunni. Nice job on PCLNG. Marcus, you can use the 1 minute chart. I find that there's way too many fake outs on the 1 minute chart in terms of candlesticks, reversals, and stuff, but that is a personal preference. Thank you, Zach. Yeah, he traded it in under a minute. So yeah, not a lot of opportunity for, as you can see with this candlestick now, the bulls never left Netflix. They were just hanging around, profit taking, and I wouldn't say a whole bunch of shorts jumped in here. Otherwise, we would have seen a more longer term downtrend. But you're absolutely right. Confirmation was not seen on the 5 minute chart to make a safe trade on Netflix short. Apple now below $12. SPY setting a new low of day, breaking below the 100 period moving average support. So we are bearish on the morning here. Note that the RSI is 27. Support now is all the way down at the 200 period moving average of 197.55 on the 5 minute. Let's see other time frames here. 15-minute support is way down as well. 20 period on the 30-minute is 198.54. And that is all we are looking at. So not a whole lot of support with these two gap up days in a row. Major support for SPY is a ways away. So a bearish tone to start the day here with the gap up, giving back some of its gains for SPY. GoPro unable to hold 38. Netflix, the strong stock in the bunch, still flirting around $100. PCLN is consolidating a bit. We'll see how it ends up if it can stay green. It's been doing a good job so far of shrugging off what SPY has been doing and trading its own way. So we got Sunni breaking 1280 now, unable to turn that 200 period moving average resistance into support. It got rejected multiple times in a row, and as soon as we saw the break of, we had these 4 candlesticks in a row with higher lows. As soon as this low broke of 1282, that is when the stock had a significant 10-cent drop instantly, as that was the break in the bullish uptrend pattern. If someone can relay this information to Deep, please, I would greatly appreciate it. That SPY support is all the way down at 197.55, and resistance is 198.72. Thank you, Jason. $198.72 resistance, $197.55 support. So Sunni now approaching its low of day after the rejection from the 200 period. We have the RSI down at 24, which is worth noting, and why I was not extremely confident in the short, just only fairly confident. We'll see if this double bottom can hold at 1267. SPY might give all its gains up here, which would be very interesting on the daily chart with if we get a close below 198. Looks very double toppy compared to the highest high on the original market crash bounce for SPY. Again, 199.84. High today, 199.56 pre-market. So definitely seems a little double toppy as it's approaching $200. Support now is 198 on SPY on the daily chart, and then 196.19 is the 10-day moving average. But continuing to set new low of days. Sunni broke a low of day at 1264. That was 24 cents off of the rejection of the 200 period moving average resistance. Netflix is trying very hard to turn $100 into support. We'll see if we get a double top on Netflix here, the 5-minute chart. Support is definitely $99. As you can see, these three candlesticks maintained $99. Netflix RSI is 72. The original level it pulled back from was 80, so could still see some room to run, but needs to break a new high of day. If we do not see a new high of day and we see $99 break, it will be a bearish development. Well, Zen, that's better than being a loser, so good trade. Always risky overnight with options, as you are aware, but glad you could come out even. So definitely seeing some strength for Netflix to be up around $100 and over 5% still. Shows it wasn't just shorts covering and then they're going to attack it again. So now we got SPY coming down for a new low of day test. Again, not much support there. There's the new low of day. Looking like we might test the close from yesterday. 198 is the support we're watching from the high of the day a few days ago on the bounce. GoPro need a convincing turn of $38 into support. Let's check out Apple on the 5-minute. Same, looking very similar to Sunni with the oversold drop and then the rejection on the back test. This is a back test as it went right through support, back tested it as resistance, was rejected exactly from that level. We have the 200 period was 112.41 and the high of this candlestick was 112.39. So within 2 cents on $112 stock is very close, I would say. So we have a test now. We're coming back to test that resistance level. You can see the higher low was set. If we get rejected again and then set a lower low compared to 111.86, it will be a bearish development. Note the RSI for Sunni that it will bounce eventually, but currently setting new low of days, and I would protect any profits on a short option, perhaps off of 1250 psychological support, but just because RSI is under 21 right now, I don't see it dropping a whole lot more without seeing a little bit of bounce life. Here's Netflix going up towards the high of the day. The bulls are definitely still around on Netflix. Nice job, G. Good trade there. Down to 1253 on Sunni here. RSI is now approaching 20. Again, I would have a tight stop loss on a short here. You could see a bounce back to 1280 fairly quickly. So Netflix still unable to set a new high of day. We're watching for a potential double top here. SPY set another new low, 198.13. We're watching how it reacts to 198 even. Here comes Netflix to test 189 high of day. So let's see on SPY where we might see resistance on any kind of bounce. 100 period moving average resistance is 198.73. But look at this pattern we got going here. Look at the exponential 4, the red line here. moving average has been knocking the price down again. We saw this with Baba and Netflix yesterday. Netflix just set a new high of day, so the bulls are still in town. 102.50 is resistance on the daily chart. Note the 4-period exponential moving average resistance on SPY here. Let's check out Baba. Yeah, any inverse SPY plays, UVXY, and there's a couple others, are certainly doing well this morning. So Baba got up to $64 and was rejected twice and is now trying to maintain the support of the 20-period and 200-period moving averages, 62.91 and 63.13. Seeing a nice candlestick there. Want to see an increase in volume. 2 minutes left to go in the candlestick. Sunni now testing its low of day again. We saw a little bit of a bounce back up to 1260. And the candlestick is going to form bearish. RSI 2053. Struggling to hold this 2050 support level is Sunni. Netflix did set a high of day. So not going to see a double top there, although we are seeing... We'll see how this candlestick forms here. It is looking a little double toppy with these two longer wicks. We have 4 candlesticks in a row now with higher lows. If we see a break in that trend, we will be watching bearishly on Netflix. Sunni, a new low of day, coming down to test 1250 support. Sunni for a bounce. Wow, big drop there. Okay, so Sunni's going to have an oversold bounce here soon. Congratulations if anybody held on to their shorts through here. 1241 was the low. Seeing a quick bounce back reaction, but still 5 minutes in this candlestick, so we'll see if it drops back down again. RSI is now under 19, now under 18, so let's see other moving or other time frames to find other moving average supports. Nothing until 1217 on the 15-minute. 30-minute, 1225 support. And that's all we've got right there. So if it were to get to 1225, it would be extremely oversold. And we got the middle Bollinger Band on Sunni daily time frame. That support is 1196, so that's a ways away. RSI under 19. Fit, let's look at Fit. Losing the 20-period moving average support right now. That level is 3664. Also broke these lows, so now the next low we are watching is 3630, and if that breaks, we are coming down to 3580. So 3630 and 3580 are Fit support. So this is a bullish reversal candlestick on the 5-minute chart for Sunni. We still have 4 minutes left to go, so it's not even close to being set. Correct about SPY support. We have 198 from the daily chart. We had a high of day a few days ago of SPY right at 198. It might be off by a couple pennies, but we'll go with the psychological level. I've got 198 even for SPY, and then after that, all the way down at 197.57, but SPY is going to bounce here eventually. We've got a 2150 RSI, and again, look at this 4-period exponential moving average. We saw it yesterday with Netflix and Baba. Ruthless shorts knocking the price down. Watch for a close above the 4-period exponential moving average to signal a possible bullish reversal. Eyes is maintaining 960, not much volume. GoPro is now red. I'm going to pull up the daily chart to see where the trade would fall apart. We are not seeing the bullish reversal confirmation that we wanted to see with the nice green candlestick. The high yesterday was 38.09 and the high today 38.15. So seeing some resistance just over 38. A long way to go before the low of yesterday, 36.38, so we'll likely set a higher low today is GoPro, and we'll have to see, potentially wait for a close above $38 before we give GoPro bullish attention. So Suni here testing the low of the day again on volume. That's worth noting, the volume. Nice trade, Jim. Always lock in those profits. 12.40 now, new low of day. 12.39. Getting more and more oversold. RSI is now approaching 17. Watching for a bounce bullish reversal candlestick to form. Not happening yet. New low of day for SPY coming up on 198. Getting more and more oversold on the 5-minute chart by the minute. I know a common emotion with traders that I've experienced tons of times myself is locking in your profit and then watching the stock continue and thinking about all the money you left on the table. Avoid this as much as you can. You should be congratulating yourself on the profitable trade and moving on, clearing your mind to the next trade. So we see Suni continuing to drop here. Jim made some nice profit, so hopefully Jim's not sitting there thinking, oh, I could have got 5 more cents out of the trade. You made a nice entry and exit, and it worked out for you. Now move on to the next one and do it again. So still watching increase in volume, bearish volume, obviously a bearish sign. RSI is now down around 16, continuing to drop, continuing to see low of days. We have the support at 12.25. If it were to get down there in the next 5 minutes, that would be a good bouncing point on the 30-minute chart here, 12.25. RSI is oversold on the 30-minute chart as well. Low of the day is 12.33. So SPY broke 198 by 2 cents. We'll see if it's able to maintain that level. 12.31 now, low of day for Suni. 12.30. Again, 12.25 is looking like a nice target with the RSI below 16 now. Might not even get that low, might see a bounce off 12.26 or 12.27 as people could potentially be lining up their buy orders at that level. You're going to watch this candlestick, 4 minutes left to go here for bullish reversal signs potentially. Netflix is testing its high of day back above 101, and there is a new high of day, up 6.5%. 102.50 is the resistance on the daily chart. So Suni just went up 12 cents in a couple seconds there. Currently a bullish reversal candlestick forming on the 5-minute chart. 4 minutes left to go, so this pattern can very well change. Watching closely. Should be a bounce in Suni and potentially in SPY, as SPY is oversold as well, and that could fuel the fire for Suni. 101.63 now for Netflix, a very bullish day, up 7%. Three minutes left to go in this candlestick. Bullish reversal is in effect. We are watching the 4-period exponential moving average of 1251, which has knocked the price down a lot on this downtrend, but definitely seeing signs of the bullish reversal here for Suni, as we see SPY making its way up off of 198 as well. Netflix over 102. 102.50 is resistance, as I keep saying. Let's check out the RSI on the 5-minute. Back almost at 80. This green line is a resistance line I have on Netflix from way long ago. I don't even remember putting it there, but it's saved on my chart. And we will see 102.50 could be a nice short opportunity again, as the RSI pulled back when we were at 80, and we are at that level again. So let's see if we hit 102.50 here. Suni seeing a nice bounce, nice follow through up 21 cents from that bounce. Currently fighting the exponential 4-period moving average. So SUNY is pulling back from that 4 EMA and need to see a close above that level on the 5 candlestick. Nice trade deep. Currently at the high of the candlestick here. 2 minutes left to go. The high of the previous candlestick was 1253, and we are currently above that. $102.37 now for Netflix. RSI is up at 81, so higher than when we originally saw the pullback. Here's 102.50 test. 102.49 high of day so far. We'll see if it tests that level again. Watching SUNY for a bounce and Netflix for a pullback. So rejected by the EMA4 period, the red line here. Nice bullish volume, but need to see some follow through now on the next candlestick that will be forming in a minute or in a second. So EMA now, EMA4 is 1249. A higher high breaking above 1256 will be a very bullish sign. RSI is still oversold at 24. Here's Netflix testing 102.49 again. There's the break. So we are going to be stalking Netflix now for a pullback. RSI is approaching 82. We've got 100 period hourly resistance at 103.62. $103.60 resistance. If it gets up to 103.60, that is absolutely a target for a short. 2 resistances lining up on those levels on the 30 and 60 minute charts. SPY is seeing a nice little bullish bounce off 198 support. Resistance is 198.76. So SUNY stalling out a little bit here, not seeing a big quick bounce. That's worth noting. And 103.60 would be an ideal short target for Netflix if it were to get there in the next 10 minutes. Bearish reversal candlestick forming here, 4 minutes left to go, but that is a gravestone doji or an inverted hammer and a bearish reversal sign at the top of an uptrend. Confirmation would be a red candlestick next 5 minute period, but again, we've got 3 minutes left to go here, so that pattern could change. SUNY is still battling this EMA4. Need to wait for a close above that. Looks like we could come back down and test a double bottom here on the daily. 1229 is support. Coming up fairly quickly on it. Higher low still at 1232. Nice job with the stop loss, Soren. Yes, it is, Marcus. So back under 102 now for Netflix. That is without a doubt a bearish reversal candlestick with 2 minutes left to go until it is formed. Target for a pullback is at least 101.26 and potentially 150. So fighting 102 again. We'll see if it can get back over that. SPY is consolidating a bit now after running up to 198.30s and looking to potentially backtest the 198 support. I don't mean backtest, I mean test the double bottom. So 2 minutes left to go in this candlestick. We will see how this forms. Still a bearish reversal candlestick as Netflix is struggling to get over 102. As I say that, it is trying really hard, and there is the break. So 102.79 is the high of the day. Let's see if this candlestick might go bullish in the next 1 minute and erase that bearish reversal candlestick that was just forming. Best of luck, Gamma, with your puts here. Ideally, you'd want to see a close under 102 for this 5-minute candlestick, but there's only a few seconds left there. Fiona, thank you. So not as strong of a bearish reversal candlestick on the 5-minute as it was to start the period. We will see as it comes up if it's going to test its high of day here. RSI is at 80.50. You want to see a break of the low of the previous candlestick, which was 101.71. We have had higher lows now for the past 30 minutes. And the bears want to see a lower low. Let's check back in on Sunni here. Set a higher low, nice long lower wicks here on these two candlesticks, so showing the bulls are doing a little bit of loading. Again, it's all on the EMA4, which is currently 1245. Want to see a close above that level. Netflix is now up 7.75%. $101.71 is the low that the bears want to see break on Netflix. For Sunni, the low of the previous candlestick was 1232. The low of this candlestick was 1234, so maintaining 3 higher lows in a row now. We'll see if that pattern keeps up. Netflix does not want to give up here. All right, there's a nice break of 102 support. Nice big ask there. Although it's getting eaten pretty quickly, we'll see if the bulls are able to erase that 102 big ask. Dropping down, 101.71 break will be a great sign for the bears. Getting close. Just touched it right there, but maintained that support. 3 cents to go on the bid, and there it is. So that's a good sign, a lower low. Good sign here on the 5-minute chart. Wow, Fiona, you got 50 cents that quickly? That goes to show you options, everybody. That's about an 18% gain off the top of my head in 10 minutes or less. If Netflix comes underneath this EMA4 of 101.55, it will come down to 180, it appears. So SPY is coming down to test its low of day of 197.98. Netflix is back over 102, so the bulls are not giving up this long lower wick here. On the candlestick is showing the bulls bought the dip, but we still have 2 minutes left to go here, and this pattern could change. Sunni now checking in, looking like it's approaching its low of day. We had a low of the previous candlestick of 1232 and this one 1231, so that is a lower low, and still getting jammed down by the EMA4, exponential moving average 4 period, currently 1243. Loco looking nice here, up 1%. Let's look at the daily chart of Loco. I kept it on our swing play watch. Although it closed beneath the 10-day moving average support, we did see a higher low and a higher high. The 10-day moving average right now is 1270, so we're trying to turn that level into support. And a close over 13 will be a very bullish sign for Loco. Netflix up with a new, oh no, excuse me, I'm off by $1. Netflix is back under 102. I thought it set a new high a day there really quickly, but 1 minute left to go in this candlestick, and we will see if we close close to the bottom of the candlestick. Found support on that EMA4. We see it as resistance on Sunni, and it is support on Netflix. Although the low of this candlestick was 101.55, if we see a break of 101.55 currently here, which just happened, that is a bearish sign. Another lower low and lower high. Third candlestick in a row. EMA4 is 101.56. So if that is to break, we've got 101.04, the EMA8 below it. And I'm using these moving averages, the exponential moving averages, as support and resistance, because anytime you see an overextended move to the bullish or bearish side, those are the levels we're looking at, as the simple moving averages do not keep up fast enough. So Sunni just set a new low a day. RSI is back under 19 again. This trade did not develop as we did not see a close over the EMA4, and we did not see bullish reversal confirmation here with the green candlestick after the bullish reversal candlestick. So we are still watching. SPY making new lows, good eye, and that's looking like what is driving Sunni down here. So SPY is now underneath the 198 support, and support is 197.61 on the 200 period moving average here. RSI has been oversold for a while, but need to find support on the 200 period for SPY here. So Netflix, we're still watching here. Let's see if it's going to see some of the bearish momentum with SPY. Still maintaining here, not seeing a very sharp sell-off after such a very bullish move is a point in the favor for the bulls, but definitely opportunity to capture some of the downside move here. Yep, PCLN is at a low. Let's see the daily chart of PCLN. Target was acquired at 1300, so now we could see if we do not close above 1300, we're going to see some consolidation in PCLN. We've had 2 gap ups in a row. Right now the candlestick is a gravestone doji on the daily chart, which is a bearish reversal candlestick. Would look for confirmation on tomorrow, but if we get a close where we're at right now, 1292 or lower, I would be bearish on PCLN tomorrow to test 1280 support. After 1280 we have 1260. Sunni support, the only thing I'm seeing is the 30-minute, 100 period moving average support. It's holding that one nicely, just dipped below it. RSI is oversold on the 30-minute chart, also oversold on the 5-minute chart. Seeing another bullish reversal candlestick forming here on this hammer at the bottom of a downtrend. That is a bullish reversal candlestick. Need confirmation in the next 5 minutes. Also want to see a close above this red line, the exponential 4-period moving average, currently 1238. That would be the safe way to play it. But 1225 is support. We'll see if that's able to hold. I'm not going to stay on too much longer here. I just looked down and see I've been on for almost an hour and a half. So I will stick with you on this Sunni bounce, and then I'm going to log off the mic and continue talking in the chat room. So again, if PCLN closes the day at 1292 or lower, we are bearish for it tomorrow. But sweet job for everybody that traded it bullish the past 2 days. A gravestone doji is a pattern. Make sure, Fiona, you check out the members video page after the bell today or whenever you have time. We have some nice introduction lessons there and pattern videos and things like that. But a gravestone doji is, I guess I can show you real quick. A doji is a kind of candlestick where the close and the open are the same. And a gravestone doji is exactly what you're seeing today right here for PCLN, where you have the open, a nice upward move, and then the bears knock it down and close it right at the open. That is a gravestone doji at the top of an uptrend. That signals a bearish reversal. Need to wait for confirmation tomorrow with another red candlestick to confirm the bearish reversal. But at the bottom of a downtrend, if we saw the gravestone doji down here, it would be a bullish reversal signal. So where the candlestick appears in relation to the trend is very important. But again, check out those videos and ask any questions if you have them. So still watching this EMA4, currently 1232 on Sunni. So yeah, I encourage all new members to check out the members video page. We have about an hour and 20 minutes worth of videos in there now, and we're continuously going to be adding to it as time permits. There's some pretty basic lessons in there, and I apologize for the audio quality on a couple of those videos as it was before we got a fancy mic. So Netflix is continuing to drop here, down at 185 cents now. Really nice short if anybody held on, and if not, congratulations on locking profit either way. No sense in thinking about profit left on the table. We're not going to make perfect trades every time. There's always going to be better entries and better exits. The key is getting your profit while you can. Amazon is bearish now with the close below the 20-period moving average support. That resistance level is now 526.63. The only support I am seeing here is the low of the day, which is 522, let's call it, 521.94. So definitely a bearish development, setting a lower low. What we look at on this chart here for Amazon on the 5-minute chart, we had a low set here at 526.05. A higher low was set at 526.90, and then once we saw a 526.90 break, it was the start of a bearish downtrend. Target for Netflix. We have this 8-period exponential moving average holding right now at 101. That is that level. If we get a close below it, we have these two candlesticks forming lows at 110 and 114. So we'll just call it psychological $100 support. Awesome, Mason. Very glad to hear it. Glad I can help. GoPro is selling off a new low of day. We'll see if it can form a higher low as compared to yesterday, but definitely negating the bullish reversal as of right now. UGLD. Nice higher lows. It's able to maintain this 868, 866. So maintaining support here around the 866 range. Needs to set a higher high. We have a consolidating pattern of lower highs forming, a high here of 875, a next high of 874, And we got the 20 period moving average resistance coming down at 876. So want to see a break above 875 and ideally turn this 20 period moving average into support if we are going to see UGLD make a bullish move up. SPY is giving up most of its gains and flirting with going red here. Netflix heading down to $100 support. Sunni heading down to its low as well. It's going to be a nice bounce there when it does happen. RSI is still under 19. And we're going to be watching, as always, this 4-period exponential moving average, the red line that has knocked the price down continuously. G, I see your direct message there. I'll get to it when I sign off here in the next 10 minutes. AAL, very bullish move off of support found at 40.63. Very nice alert, Ike. I remember you mentioning AAL a while ago. Very nice bullish follow through and a new high of day. Let me pull up the daily chart real quick to see what we're looking at. Again, remember, look at as many charts on as many time frames as you can for a stock you are interested in. Every time you look at a different time frame, you gather more information. So a nice bounce on the low of the day, holding the 50-day and middle Bollinger Band support. 50-day support is 40.87, middle Bollinger Band 40.79. A close over 41.50 is a bullish sign, as the high close on the bounce was 41.51. So you want to see a higher close over 41.51, which would indicate a move to the 100-day moving average. 42.91 is in the future. So looking for a close over 41.51. Nice volume on these past two candlesticks, showing the bulls have some strength. ICE is consolidating significantly here. Let me pull up the daily chart there. So another bullish reversal candlestick here for Sunni. Keep your eye. The time is drawing near. We have higher lows, lower wicks showing the bulls buying. This high was 1231. Want to see a break of 1231 and a break of the EMA4 of 1233. Want to see a close above 1233 on the 5-minute candlestick. We still have 4 minutes left to go. We will see if that develops. Eyes on the daily chart here. 10-day moving average support of 930. Currently right at that level. Volume yesterday was 250,000. So about 20% of yesterday's volume. Nothing really significant there yet. We will see if we can maintain this 10-period moving average, which would be a good sign for the bulls. We're going to keep our eye on Sunni here. Sunni is getting close. We're watching the higher low pattern, and we are watching the exponential 4 moving average. 1231 is current resistance. PCLN is under 1290 now, and looking, they still have a lot of hours to go today, but looking like we're going to be bearish on PCLN tomorrow. So here we got Sunni now setting a higher high. We're looking for a close above 1234, the exponential 4-period moving average. That level keeps changing as the price changes because it is so reactive to the price. But looking good right now. 3 minutes left to go in this candlestick. And we will be looking at resistance of 1256 if we do see a close above this 4-period exponential moving average, which so far so good. Moving up to 1240 now. Nice 20 cents bounce off the low of the day. Going to see an increase in volume on this candlestick, a bullish sign there as well. The MACD is getting closer on the 5-minute chart to a bullish cross. Still 3 minutes left to go in this candlestick. We will see if we can maintain this 1234 close. So looking really good here. Increase in bullish volume. Minute and a half left to go on this candlestick. Sunni is looking like it will bounce a little bit here to at least 1256. That's the first target. After 1256, we have the 20 period moving average resistance all the way up at 1274. So let's see if this bullish volume continues. If we can get a MACD bullish cross down here, very close to happening. 1 minute left to go, and looking like we will close over the 4 period exponential moving average, which has not happened in a long time. Pretty much all day today. Parabolic SAR just flipped to a buy on the 5 minute. That's these little dots. When the candlestick hits the dot, it flips it to the opposite side. When it's below the price, it is a buy. When it is above the price, it is a sell. It's just another indicator I use, one of many. So I'm going to sign off here. It has been a nice long morning, lots of action, Netflix providing opportunities, Sunni providing opportunities. I will be in the chat room continuing to talk, and we will check back in with the close at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So now watching a really bullish sign would be a break of 1244 for Sunni, which would be a higher high for the third candlestick in a row. Watching volume. Looking good here. Nice big ask of 1241 just got erased pretty quickly. Let's see if we can break up to 1244. Here's 1242. 3 more pennies will be a higher high. So definitely struggling in the low 1240s region here. We'll see if this is just consolidation on low volume, as volume is lower this candlestick with still 4 minutes left to go. Watching for higher lows to maintain. If we see a break of the higher lows, it will be a bearish development. Apple is back green. GoPro is not looking good. The low yesterday was 36.38. That is the key level to hold. We will keep our eye out for a double bottom off 36.38. And we will see how that plays out. So watching Sunni here. Lower volume consolidation, nothing wrong with that. If I were in this trade right now, I would have my stop loss below 1228, which was the low of the previous candlestick, but that is just my preference, and everybody's risk tolerance is different. So I'll leave this webcam up and unplug the mic just as soon as we see this Sunni trade develop a little bit more. Seeing more consolidation. Again, the low we need to hold is 1228. Bullish break of 1244 is what we are looking for here for Sunni. A big ask at 1238. We'll see if the bulls can eat that up. So 2 minutes left to go in this candlestick. Not increasing volume on the pullback is a good sign for the bulls, but definitely want to see some bullish volume show up here within the next candlestick. 1 minute left to go. The low of 12.28 is the key to hold here. Watch for a break of 12.38. That will be a bullish sign, as that is a fairly large ask relatively, comparatively. So the next candlestick is going to be really telling for Sunni here. If we see continued downside or if the bullish show back up after this slight consolidation. Key is to break 12.38 and then 12.44. RSI is still underneath 30 and the MACD still has not had a bullish cross. So the candlestick is set. The low of that candlestick is 12.34. The bulls do not want to see a break below 12.34 here. So there's 12.38 breaking, a good sign for the bulls. 12.44 is the next target. Looking good here. Still some resistance in this low 12.40 area. Somewhat concerning for the bulls, but still maintaining the higher lows. 12.34 is the key low now. Oh God, I do need to get off. It's been an hour and 40 minutes. Come on, Sunni, give me a 12.44 break and I'll sign off here. Eight-period exponential moving average has been resistance the past two candlesticks at 12.42. Alright, we can watch this in the chat room. I am going to sign off, pull out the mic, and keep this webcam up as Sunni fights the 12.40 and 12.41 resistance. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a fun morning with lots of volatility, and it sure makes talking easier when there's a lot of stuff to cover and a lot of action. Yesterday was a little bit more dull, but it's nice to see it pick back up today, and I'm extending my time here, delaying, just so I can see Sunni break 12.44. Come on, you bulls, let's do it. 12.44 is tested, and there's the break. All right, I'm out of here.